2.0, like with Coinbase running like all these, like what kinds of like orchestration and coordination software exists right now, or is it all just kind of in-house and not shared across the different validators? Do you know?
You there, Jack? Did you get that?
Sorry, I was talking. Thank you, Jen. This is where I think ETH2 made the biggest mistake, and what is the largest centralization vector for ETH2. All of the various operators have kept those techniques secret because they take a lot of money to develop, and there's a huge competitive advantage in having the best ability to manage and do these from a low cost perspective, because if you can do that, then you can beat all your competitors and get all the delegations. But what we end up with is a tragedy of the commons where there's only one entity controlling the chain. So how are they doing that? I can guess at it because I know how to scale these type of things. And like, we're working on a Kubernetes operator for Cosmos nodes that enables you to, really forget about a lot of the blocking and tackling, things like scheduling upgrades, things like basic monitoring, things like node failover, things like snapshots that are required to kind of operationalize running huge arrays of different Cosmos nodes. That work, we're going to contribute to the open source, but in the Ethereum community has all been kept closed. So how are they doing it? There's only a handful of ways to run tens of thousands of computers, and most of them have kind of converged around Kubernetes and friends at this point, or building deeply into an individual cloud provider's APIs. So like working closely with the Amazon APIs and a tool like Terraform to be able to easily spin up and manage your infrastructure. Or the other option is having these like large Kubernetes clusters where you're managing the deployment of objects on top of those using something like Compose, or any of the bevy of different Kubernetes tooling that exists out there.
So I think these guys did a very good job of showing the downsides to having 400,000 validators and low requirements. But let me give the bull case real quick. So they have really low validator requirements for the hardware. And the benefit is, and all the previous decisions we described above, there's a crap load of validators. Like it's going to be upwards of 500 to 600,000 plus at some point, maybe a million or something like that. And the benefits you can get from that come when they do their danksharding. Because with data availability sampling, you actually get an improvement for every additional node on the network, because each one is just doing a small percentage of the data availability sampling and leading to exponential increases on how much data the whole network can hold. So at a future end state, there's a possibility that the Ethereum 2 network, if proto danksharding ships well and everything goes well, there could be an incredible amount of data availability provided by the ETH2 layer. So that's my bull case. That's the best I can do.
I just have an issue with the naming. Proto danksharding is terrible. Sorry, Rex.
Agreed. I first heard it when I was at Ethereum Denver, and I was like, what? Because it came out of left field, and like overnight it became like the dominant roadmap for ETH. And I'm like, how did this go from me never hearing it to the dominant roadmap like overnight? It was like shocking.
Because the Celestia guys are fucking smart.
I think that's a pretty fair take, Jack.
They know their target market.
Yeah, and I mean, the improvements of data availability sampling is amazing. It's like the first time that you do like a linear amount more of work and get an exponential amount more of safe data availability, which is incredible. But my opinion is that how are they going to outship Celestia when they're just building just that? Like, I don't understand how that's even possible, given how smart Celestia is and how tough of a challenge it seems to be. Because they're just trying to design that one piece, and it's tough.
I mean, just